Hi, folks. Thanks for showing up for your learning. Today we're going to be looking at quadratic word problems. So let's go. All right, let's move me. I'm kind of useless, but I keep myself there as well so that you can see my enthusiasm for these topics. All right, Tanisha has 51 meters of fencing to build a three-sided fence. Well, that's good because 51 is divisible by 3 around a rectangular plot of land. Whoa, that sits on a riverbank. Oh, okay, so the fourth side will be the riverbank. I was imagining a triangle around a rectangle, and I thought, whoa, this is a complex problem. Oh, I'm in over my head. No, this is quite good. Okay, so the fourth side of the enclosure is going to be the river. She's got unlimited river to work with, and then this 51 meters of fencing. The area of the land is 304 square meters. List each set of possible dimensions of the field. All right, cool. All right, so this sounds a little bit quadratic. Okay, so let's draw a picture. Okay, the first step with any of these is to read and draw a picture. There's my riverbank. It's roughly straight. And then I've got some width and some length. Okay, so I'm going to put in 304 there. That's square meters, so that's meters squared. All right. This is not a set of notation that says square 304. No, it's meter squared. So that's a 304 square meters. So we measure area in square meters. It's not instructions to square the coefficients there, which is something that bothers some students. And then I don't know how long this is, so let's call it x. And I don't know how long these are, but I can actually express them in terms of x. Maybe I don't know yet, so I'll call it y, and I'll call this one y, and then let's figure it out. X plus 2y is equal to 51. Let's solve this for y, okay? So 2y is equal to 51 minus x. Y is equal to 51 minus x over 2, okay? So now I can put that in there and there. All right? Or I'm already regretting it. I really wished I'd solved this for x instead. Maybe I'm like, I don't like those fractions. I want those fractions to go away. So let's try this question a different way. All right, let's do it a different way. I'm all for doing it different ways. So let's start over here. Boop. Okay, go away. There we go. So now let's take that same equation, x plus 2y equals 51, and solve it for x. X is equal to 51 minus 2y. There. So now let's substitute that in up there. We're going to erase that x. And instead of that, we're going to draw something that we know is equivalent to x. It's 51 minus 2y. Okay, so there you go. So that's one way of imagining this. So let's figure out if we know that 51 minus 2y times y, because area here is just length times width. So that's going to create a quadratic. So let's go ahead and write that on. I just need more table space here. So area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. And just go ahead and substitute in there. Area in this case is a function of y, and it's equal to 51 minus 2y multiplied by y. All right? So that's, and in this case, we know the area is 304. So we have, here, I'm just going to erase some of my rough work. Forgive me. I didn't plan on solving for that twice, but I think you remember how I came up with this number up here. And let's go back to drawing. Okay, so area of y, we know that's 304. So put that in, 304. And that's equal to, let's expand this. So we will have negative 2y squared plus 51y. Oh man, this one's a tough one. All right, now let's bring everything to this side of the equation. So we have something equal to 0. So I'm going to add 2y to both sides and subtract 51y. Okay, cool. All right, so and I'm going to do that from both sides. So plus 2y squared, sorry. I added 2y squared, and I'm going to subtract 51y. So then I get this quadratic. It's 2y squared minus 51y plus 304 equals 0. Okay, now let's factor that. Oh man, let's factor it. All right, let's try. So it doesn't common factor. So we're going to play a special x game where we multiply a times c. A times c. So that's a times c. So that's 2 times 304. So I'm just going to write 608. And we multiply, and we want them to add to negative 51. Hoo-wee. So let's do a factor tree for 608. 608 factors down to 2 and 304. Factors into 2 and 152. I need more space here. Oh my goodness, this is quite a problem. 152. Factors into 2 and 76. 2 and half of 76 is, oh my goodness, 37. 37 is prime. 30, no, it's 37. It's 38. 38 times 2 is 76. My goodness. And then there's still another 2 in there. So 2, and there it is, 19. So we've got it down to its primes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So 608 is equal to 2 to the 5 times 19. What a problem they gave us. That's amazing. Okay. So 51 is in there, but that's like 17s. It's like 3 17s. So it's kind of cool. All right, so now we need to arrange these factors with one positive and one negative number, because I know they're, oh wait, both of them are negative because they're multiplying to a positive number and adding to a negative number. So I just want them to add up to 51. And 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. 32 plus 19, so that's a negative 32 and negative 19 will be our numbers that do it. Okay, so we managed to find them with a factor tree. All those 2's multiplied by together, 2 to the 5 times 19. Okay, but they're both negative. So this is negative 2 to the 5 times negative 19. Okay, and that will give you, adds to 51. All right, so what does that tell us? What does that tell us? Well, it tells us that we can now factor this expression by breaking down this 51 term. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to erase my factor trees. Whew! We just wanted it so that we could win that X game anyway. I did not know that these questions were so good. This is such a good question. All right, let's go. So 2y squared minus 32y minus 19y plus 304 equals 0. All right. So now I just broke that negative 51 into two pieces based on these numbers that came out of the X game. Now we can factor this by grouping. So out here, a 2y will come out, multiplied by y minus 16. And then over here, a negative 19 comes out, multiplied by y minus 16. Check it again, 304 times 19. So 16 times 19 is indeed 304. Yeah, it is. So that's equal to 0. And now we factor out that binomial common factor. So y minus 16 multiplied by 2y minus 19 is equal to 0. Okay, so now we know that this one gives us the solution y is equal to 16. And this one gives us the solution of 19 over 2. Okay, how do I know that? If 2y minus 19 equals 0, then I know that 2y equals 19, and so y equals 19 over 2. Okay, so there's my two answers. Holy! So let's take our two answers up here, and we're going to write them down. Y equals 16, or, and let's not write 19 over 2. Let's use a decimal because it's meters. Y is equal to 9.5. All right. So those are the two possibilities for there and there and there. All right. So let's input them into Desmos and see if it likes it. Okay. So the first one is dimensions. So that would be 16 meters by, well, let's use our chart. We're going to put in 51 minus 2y there to find the other dimension. And so that would be 51 minus 32 is going to give us 19 meters. 16 by 19 is one possibility. Or the other possibility was here, 9.5. So these are 9.5, 9.5, and this one here is 9.5 meters by Well, 2y there would be minus 19. So 51 minus 19 is 32. Cool, eh? Right, submit that answer. Hooray! So they drew a diagram. They solved it for y, like we did. We solved it 2 ways and decided fractions were gross. All right, then they do length times width is equal to that. They solve the quadratic and factor it. Solve by fact. I love how they just say solve by factoring. And this is one line. Took me how long? Like 5 minutes? Took you how long? Okay. And then there we go. I'm talking at the same time. I can do it faster if I'm not talking. And then click to show solve by quadratic formula. Ah, that's nice of them. Because yes, you can solve these by factoring. You can also solve them with quadratic formula. When they get ugly enough, you can just go ahead and use quadratic formula if you want to get the same values, however you like. Okay, so the two possible dimensions are those. Great. So that's a more challenging problem type for you to chew on at the end of this Delta Math assignment. Any questions, hit me up by email. I'm not going to do a lot of these because, hey, I got to go. I'll pick up my son. But bye for now, everybody. Thank you for showing up for your learning and for sticking through this video. If you got this far, the code word is emu. If you email me the word emu, I know you've gotten to the end of this video. Bye.